Hey everyone, we got news technically yesterday about the crowned Madame Edel upgrades, and because I got asked quite a few times already yesterday and today as well how she does fare in a matter with the upgrades she's getting, let's do a quick review. So this is just going to be a very short one where we dive right into what changes and how it changes her positioning in the grand scheme of things. So first of all, what do the crowns do? If you've never used master crowns, they are basically another form to enhance your units, just like the brave insignias, for example. These crowns, though, they are very scarce. I think we have 10 right now, not quite sure. It's not a lot. And you're gonna need 4 crowns for Madame Edel. So what you're seeing on display here is the left side is showing what it's right now. That's the Shining Art Ultimate Descending Gem Strike with a 12 turn cooldown. It's a 350x modifier to all enemies. It's bad by every standard these days, but with the crown upgrades on the left hand side, it's just a Japanese name for this. It does actually translate to something entirely, or not entirely different, but rather different. But that's not a topic. What's really important here is that they actually just added another 0 at the very end to this and made this a 3700 physical X attack to all enemies. The rest of it doesn't really change, but that's fine. I mean, this is her ultimate move and it's really strong. I mean, if you do know what Lara and Carton can do, this is right up their alley, and this is not dependent on morale or anything. So Edel, she's gonna hit hard, but as you can see, this is an ability that is only available on turn 6, or available starting turn 6. That is, if you do not use Roka. So if you use Roka, you can speed things up considerably, but without Roka, well, you're gonna spend 6 turns waiting or powering her up through other means. So let's check out the damage real quick. So these are the standard assumptions here, nothing changed. Again, if you want to read through all of this at your own pace and leisure, feel free to pause the video for a second or a minute. This is the build I used to calculate. Now, this also is missing the 500 static attack that she's getting. So the build was calculated with 8.3k attack in mind. But this is an exemplary build against a beast boss because, funnily enough, Edel is already strong against demons. So whenever a unit is strong against demon, which is my go-to killer type, I use beasts. Alright, and here is the result. So when you power up everything, go the full distance with triple casting, yada yada yada, which also means that you kind of have to make it work because it's on all enemy attack and those tend to break at times. But if you were to pull off the best case scenario, it's a 455 modifier. So that is 4055 modifier, which is rather strong, and on a fire team, which is to say this does not include the range stuff from fire team. It's just Ares is on the team, Louise is on the team, also for the Gun Imperil for that matter, and we are using Lena's fire field. Pretty strong. I mean, she's number 1 for the time being, right? I'm curious to see how Esther is going to fare. With her being a premium unit, I am actually kind of expecting Esther to sit at the very top because that'd be a kind of a moot point to release a new global exclusive unit and have her sit at rank 2 behind just a 1 or 2 year old unit. So I'm expecting Esther to be at 1, but we'll see on Thursday. Now, I know what you're all thinking. What's that Esther LB field calculation doing there? Yeah, we'll get to know on Friday. Sorry. But yeah, other than that, Edel, pretty good. So this begs the question, is it worth it though? Let me just reiterate, crowns are a very, very scarce resource. And it may be more beneficial to use those crowns on Rainer for the fire team support. And it's something I've considered for a while, but I haven't done so because there was no ideal case scenario where I could have used it. Vision World, it's easy. Everyone can cap this right now with the proper units. The Clash of Worlds, we are sadly not using, or luckily, I should say, not using Rain at all because most of the Clash units are super self-sufficient and there just isn't room for Rain to come into play. And then what's next month, if it's the Kokurayu one, I kind of have the feeling, and that's at the bottom of this chart, it's that Kane, Aster plus Ninja Edge, who will be coming soon, should be our go-to comp. And I would probably leave more wiggle room for Ramu Sakura, for example. It would also leave headroom for Edel to come into play. So there is some merit to crowning Edel, but yeah. Just one thing that you always have to keep in mind, this really only matters if you're aiming for a top 50 or maybe even top 10 spot in Dark Visions or Vision World if that is uncappable by design, such as the Legend of Mana one, which is not designed to be cappable, for example. And another thing which may or may not be the case for the next Dark Visions is that due to her long build-up, she may not be able to contribute as much to the damage as possible. Unless you're using Roka, that is, who can speed things up considerably. But just imagine if Dark Visions had the 4/5 turn limiter again. That'd be bad for Edel unless you're using Roka. So there's always that one thing to be considerate about, and that is the return limit. If there's none, great. Crowning Edel might actually potentially be a very good idea if you're looking for that top 50 or even top 10 spot, depending on how good your gear and your EX levels are. So I will give this a slight maybe pass in this regard, in this fashion or matter, because I am actually thinking about using 4 crowns for Edel myself. The reason is we are probably getting the remaining 2 crowns sometime in March, and that would mean I could crown both Rain and Edel and have all the necessary toys or tools at my disposal to dish out the most damage possible on any given team comp, and that'd be cool, but we'll have to see about that. But crowns, I think they'll become a thing with the next Dark Visions, where we're gonna see the top 50 using either crowned Rain teams or crowned Edel teams, or maybe even both, who knows. But yeah, this video should be kind of a sign to you guys that at some point during the next 4 weeks, either unit is getting crowned. And my guess would be, for me at least, it's going to be Edel first and then Rain. But yeah, that is it for this video. So Edel, she's worth it. The question is though, do you need her? If yes, you can go for it, but I wouldn't do so immediately. Wait for the next Dark Visions. But don't rush into things. Crowns are scarce. Don't use them without any real application case. There is none so far. So please don't rush into this. Keep a cool head. And once the opportunity arises, use it. Thank you all for watching. We'll see each other Thursday for Esther Pulse. See you then. Bye bye.